Recording in progress.
Right. Good morning, Andrew. All right, so let's begin. Give me 1 minute. I'm just going to braid my hair. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Okay. So sit tall and straight. Close the eyes and bring the attention within. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. So now let's come to standing. Start off some warm-ups with the wheel. Just to stretch out the different parts of the body. So we're going to start with a wheel on the right shoulder and just push it against the left side, the right side of the head. Just try to get as much of the neck in contact with the wheel and just bring your arm around the wheel and just bend to the left. The left hand is slide down the left leg. Try not to make folds in the underside of the body. Keep the body long. Come all the way back up. And then from here, just hold the wheel and just allow it to drop down with the right leg, then the left arm. And then come all the way back up. Take the wheel into the other side now on the left shoulder. See if you can push it down with the shoulder and press as much of the neck as possible against the wheel, and bring the left arm onto the wheel and just bend to the right now. Use the weight of the wheel to allow you to go sink deeper into the stretch. Again, try to keep the side body hollow, no wrinkles at the waist. And then coming back up, Allow the wheel to just hang down the left leg, right arm comes up, and bend to the left. Perhaps the wheel, depending on your stretch, can go all the way down to the floor. And come all the way back up. Good. Now take the wheel in your left arm, keep it in your left arm. Depending on your strength, you can bring it closer in towards your shoulder, or you can go right out to the wrist. So hold it level with ground and inhale, lift the chest, exhale, swing to your left. Try to get your arms as back as possible. Try not to bring your arms forward. Come back to the center and then turn to the other side. Keep your arms again level with the shoulders. Control the movements. So as they're graceful, pull the arms back. Shoulder blades coming towards one another. And coming back to the front. Take the wheel in the other hand now. Again, if you can roll it right out to the wrist to sit on the forearm, or bring it closer to the shoulder, arms level with the shoulders, and then from here, inhale, lift. Exhale, turn to the right. Pull the arms back once you're at your fullest rotation. And come back to the center. Go all the way to the other side. Push your hips forward, your shoulders back. Shoulder blades squeezing against one another, the midline at the spine. Then come back to the center. Bring the wheel right in front of the chest. Now push the hands against the wheel, so really flex your wrists here, and just push the wheel down at the same time. Lift your elbows up. So you're exercising the wrist here. As you lower your wheel down a little bit higher, try to get your elbows up higher. So you feel the stretch in the back of the wrist. And then come back, change sides. You can take the wheel and just circle the wrist a little bit just to release the wrists. And then the next time you're going to turn the hand the other way. So you can bring the back to the hands against the wheel, and from here you lift your wheel up towards your chin and you drop your elbows down. So now you feel it on the insides of the wrists. So keep lifting up your wheel, try to get your fingernails in contact with your wheel, and drop the elbows down. And then come back. You can use your knee to release the wheel. Again, you can just turn your wrists around a little bit, and then the other way. So take the wheel behind you now, the palms pressing against the outside of the wheel. Inhale, lift the wheel as high as you can behind you. Push your chest forward. And then exhale, drop your wheel down, the chin tucks in, your wheel comes down the backs of the legs. Inhale, come up high as you can, push your chest forward, arch the back a little bit. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin in. Inhale again, open up the chest, bring the wheel up. Exhale, drop it back down, shoulders depress. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, back down. Back rounds, upper back widens. One more time. Inhale, lift the wheel up. Exhale, come down, tuck the chin in. Now from here, release the wheel. So now we're going to come onto our knees. So if you can, you take the right elbow up and take the left hand to the elbow and push it all the way back behind your head. If you can hold your fingers behind your back. Okay, and then you bring your elbow onto the wheel, and you just roll forward and back. So push further forward, exhale, come all the way back. Inhale, keep pulling your hands down towards the lower back. Exhale, come back. Inhale, roll forward, right up to the armpits, and exhale back. One more time, inhale, come all the way forward, right into your armpits. Exhale, all the way back, your seat back on your heels. And from here, come right back up and release. Shake up the shoulders a little bit, move of course according to your condition. If it's too much for your shoulder, then be mindful. Then bring the left elbow up. Use the right hand to push it further back behind the head, and if you can join your hands again behind your back. Lock the fingers together, and then come forward so that your elbow comes on the middle of the wheel, and roll all the way forward right into the armpit, and all the way back so you see it comes back onto your heels. Inhale again. Roll forward, and come all the way back. Use your elbow to control the movement of the wheel. Rolling forward. All the movement smooth. Good. Really press with your elbow so it doesn't go flying to the side or tip. Right into your armpit and back. And one more. Inhale, come all the way forward. And come all the way back. Good. And then come back up and release. Shake out the shoulders again. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of exercises for the continue with the shoulders. Take your wheel behind your back, sit at the front end of the mat. I'm going to start off with just an easy supported fish. So push the back into the wheel, try to connect as much of the back as possible to the, imagine it's part of your body. And bring your arms up over the head in Kapiyasana and reach back. Try to get your fingers to the ground on the other side of the wheel. It's not going to happen, of course, but just push. You feel the wheel pushing to the back of the heart. Pull the arms back. Try to get the arms beside the ears. Good. Now from here you can slide your feet in so you're flat on your feet, and then just roll all the way back. So the head comes down to the ground and come all the way back. Right into the, so the roots come right into the back of the head, and then come all the way back forward again, or backwards I guess, and then come forward again. Feel the wheel coming right into the curve of the neck, right at the bottom of the head. Come all the way back so the head comes back down to the ground. Exhale, come back. Feel, do it slowly so you can feel the wheel working every articulation in the back, every vertebra. Right to the head to the ground and come all the way back. Good. Now from here, we're going to take your arms up. Bend your arms so that your wrists are underneath your ears. Spread your fingers and then take hold of the edges of the wheel. Allow the back of the head to rest against the wheel, and then from here we're going to roll back again. Try to get your elbows to the ground. And here, keep your legs straight, keep your elbows close to your head. Just allow the wheel to press into the lower back area, the mid back, into the heart. Good. Just stay there for a few moments. Roll the thighs inwards. Try to keep your legs very long. Then from here, bring the feet in closer to the wheel. Raise the left leg up. From here, bring the right foot to meet it. And then come all the way back, if you can, into, with your feet back to the ground, Uttanasana, so your feet come in front of your face. If you can, keep pushing the wheel into the back of into the back. See if you can get your heels right down to the ground. So you stretch the backs of the legs, push the heels towards the ground, squeeze your elbows against the ears and the head. Good. Now from here, bring the right leg back up and slowly keep holding onto the wheel. Come down gracefully. So as you come down lower, you feel more of the back on the wheel, to bring the right foot down and then the left foot back down. From here, release, actually keep holding onto the wheel and come all the way back. So from here, just shake out the shoulders if you need to. And we'll do it one more time. Bring your arms up over the head. Take your hands to the wheel again, so the wrists are right up in the ears, and then come rolling all the way back. Coming again into that bridge pose, the elbows close to the head, the legs nice and long, thighs rolling inwards, and the toes on the ground. Now from here, slide your left foot in a little bit closer,
and start to bring the right leg up straight. As your leg comes up higher, you really push the back into the wheel, you push your arms into the head, you really grip the wheel, and then you bring the right foot all the way down in front of you, and then the left foot joins. So again, you're once again into Uttanasana. If you can, be more flexible, try to get your feet right in front of your face. Your belly against your thighs and your heels coming down towards the ground. Keep pushing the wheel into your back. Now from here, you're going to bring the left leg down first, so bring the left leg up, and then start to come down slowly. So as the leg is coming down, feel as though there's a weight attached to your foot. You feel more of the back pressing into the wheel, the left foot comes down, followed by the right foot. And from here, roll all the way back forward. And then shake up the shoulders again. And now release. So we're going to come onto the belly now. Just going to roll forward and back on the belly. All the way to like the knees almost, and all the way up as far as you can, maybe right up to the neck, right to the chin. Roll forward again. Use your hands to help you. Right to the knees almost, and then all the way back. One more time. Roll forward all the way. Massaging the organs within, and come all the way back. So next time you come forward, you're going to land so that your wheel is underneath your mid part of the body. So the top of the wheel is a little bit, is just underneath the belly. The bottom part of the wheel, the back part of the wheel is near the thighs. Stay on your fingertips. Shalabhasana. Bring the legs up, arch the back. Good. Lift the chest a little bit. And if you want, you can try to bring your feet towards your head like you're doing the king cobra. So bring the toes close to your head as possible. Arch the back, bring the head back. So you have to come up a little bit higher off the wheel. So it's most of your pelvis on the wheel. Engage the buttocks, the upper back muscles. And then release, bring the legs back down, and roll back. And just allow the body to drape over the wheel. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Allow the wheel to push into the front of the heart. Feel the shoulder blades falling away from one another. Relax. Now we're going to roll forward again so that the wheel again is in the same place. So you have to play with the position a little bit. We're going to try to balance on the wheel. So it's like partner yoga. You try to bring your hands out. You have to find a balance point. Feel the abdomen wrapping around the outsides of the wheel, and take your arms up. So rolling back and forth a little bit until you find that sweet spot where you can balance. Flex your feet. Engage your thighs. Arms out to the side. Écartez les bras. C'est ça. That's it. Voila. Good. All right. Break the pose. Come back. Okay, so now I'm going to do a few balances here. So bring the wheel, try to come into boat pose. So you're sitting just near the front edge of the wheel. You have to lean back a little bit. Hold your breath so you can take your knees up towards your chest. Okay, so as you lean back, your seat comes more on the wheel. And see if you can lift your legs. That's a little bit harder to do. So bring your belly towards your thighs. Cross your ankles. Sit on your wheel. And extend your legs if you like. Okay, so. One more time.
Oh, désolée. Ok. Pas grave. Je vais enregistrer le cours, puis tu peux le regarder après. Ok? Merci tellement. Ok. Bye bye. All right. Okay, so let's move on. So we're going to do another pose. So take if you need for something for your hands, you can always just wrap around the edges of the wheel like this. Titibasana. Okay, so you're going to bring your arms inside the legs, behind your knees, your shoulders behind your knees. Take hold of the edges of the wheel. Allow your thighs to sit on your legs and bring feet up. Hold the position. So you have to just get down nice and low so your body's level with the rest of your head's level with the seat. And then press the thumbs on the inside of the wheel, the other fingers wrapped around the outside. It's a little bit hard on the hands for sure, so just make sure you have lots of cushioning for your hands. And then lift your legs up. That's it. Good. Put your seat back. Seat back. Good. All right. So now let's release. The next one. So Georgia, tu peux faire comme ça, écarter les bras, les jambes, presser les mains à l'intérieur des cuisses, puis lever le siège et essayer de balancer comme ça. C'est presque comme Titibasana, mais pas tout à fait, okay? For Andrew, place your hands on the wheel. We're going to do it on the wheel. So you have to have your seat a little bit behind your wheels, press the forearms inside of the thighs, and try to lift your legs up. Okay, so hands on the wheel. You can grip the front of the wheel a little bit, and your seat is behind your wheel. Okay, so you lean forward and press your thighs against your inside your legs. That's the idea. C'est ça. Hold your breath. Push your seats back. That's the idea. Okay. All right. Okay, so next pose. Let's start to come onto the... Okay, so we're going to do this one. So place your right foot on the wheel. So this is called a standing head to knee pose. Okay, so you take the edge of the foot and the thumbs on top of the right foot, your other fingers around the other side of the wheel, and you push your leg forward. Try to bring your belly with your thigh. Push your seat back. That's it. Try to get your body flat on the leg, the chest, maybe the forehead, the nose to your shin. C'est ça. That's it. Leg levels the ground. Good. Okay. So now from here, if you have the wheel, you place your foot on the wheel. You have to have your hip right over your foot. Hold your breath, and see if you can bring your left leg up. So you have to press your foot firmly into your wheel, and then see if you can come up. Like that. If you don't have a wheel, just place the standing split. Just place your hands, right hand on the outside of the foot, puis la main gauche sur l'intérieur du pied, the left hand to the inside of the leg, standing split. Bring your nose to your shin, try to get your left leg all the way up high. Okay, so different options depending if you have the wheel or not. Beautiful. Essaye de mettre les mains sur le pied, Georgia. Si c'est possible, c'est ça. Les avant-bras contre le c'est ça. That's it. Hold your breath. Nice, Andrew. Good. Bring your weight a little bit more forward so your hip is right over your foot. Good. Okay, so try it on the other side now. So you're bouncing on your right foot now. Pied droit. Take the foot, either hold the ankle, the heel or the edge of the feet, and the thumbs pressing into the top of the foot. Take the edge of the wheel and bring your wheel up along with your foot. Try to get your nose to your shin. Grip the floor with the outside edges of your feet, the heel, the toes. That's it. Good. Good, good, good. All right. Now break the pose. On call, standing split. So you would now take your, either your right leg comes up, or was it right leg? And then you bring your both hands, if you can, to the foot, your left foot. Try to get your belly right on your thigh, the legs straight up, over the head. Okay, if you have a wheel, of course, you bring your left foot onto the wheel. You really push your hands into your wrists, your heels, your palms into the foot. You grip the edges of your wheel, and you come straight up, and then you bring your leg up. So you come up, you come up first, and then you bring the leg back. Come a little bit forward, so your shoulders are beyond your, over your toes a little bit. That's the idea, Andrew. Have your foot right beside your wheel. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. All right, c'est beau, Georgia. Et relâchez. Okay. So next pose, we're going to continue with balances. Ballet pose. Lots of different things here we can do. Okay, so we're going to take with your right, stick with your right foot first, your foot inside the wheel, and you bring your foot up. You pull on the edge of the wheel like this, and you lean a little bit to your left. Okay? Si ce n'est pas la roue, c'est ça. On prend l'intérieur du pied, on peut faire comme ça. Voilà. Okay, if you had the wheel, you could eventually bring your right arm inside the wheel. Your left arm can come over the head. You can bring your head right inside the wheel. Okay, if you don't have the wheel, then you would just take your right hand to the foot, and you take your left hand to the foot like this. Okay, so this is a modification without the wheel. That's it, beautiful, both. Okay, break the pose, try it on the other side now. So you take your wheel, your foot in your left, the toes pressing inside the wheel, and you bring the wheel up as high as you can. You pull on the bottom edge of the wheel, bring the right arm up, lean a little bit to your right to stay balanced, and to bring the leg up higher. So keep pulling on your wheel, and your leg might come up higher. Or if you can, you place your left arm inside the wheel, hold the foot and the wheel at the same time. You might be able to eventually get your head inside the wheel as well. So head's resting on the back of the wheel, the bottom of the wheel, and you go like this. Or you take the foot, of course, with your left hand to bring the heel up, and then you bring the outside the foot, take the right hand to the outside of the foot, and you come into this pose. Good. And then break the pose. Bring the leg back down. Release. Okay, so one more balance pose. We'll start off with hummingbird, and we'll go into toppling tree. Okay, so for without the wheel, you start on your left foot,
You bring your right foot back and you bring your right foot up towards the seat. Notice you start like this, okay? So if you have the wheel, you bring the foot onto the wheel and push it up as high as you can. Bend your left knee so your belly comes onto your thigh and tip forward. So you're pushing the wheel with your foot to get it a little bit higher.
C'est ça.
And from there you can do toppling tree. So then you would extend your leg and you bring your wheel over your shoulders. If you're very flexible, you might be able to get your wheel all the way to the ground in front of your head as your right leg comes up. Okay, if you're doing without the wheel, you just bring your hands together, bend at the wrists, open up the palms, and again, try to get your foot as high as possible, higher than the head. Arch the back a little bit. Okay, good.
That's it. Pull the wheel up, off your back. There you go. You have to really push into your foot. C'est ça. Good. All right, beautiful. Come down. Try it on the other side now.
So you start with hummingbird. So you start again with your right knee bent. Your left foot goes up. You take the wheel behind your back onto your seat and you bring your left foot to the wheel. Try to flip the wheel, like press the sole foot into the wheel and just push the wheel all the way up so your knee comes up higher. If you don't have a wheel, you just bring your arms over your shoulders, same line as the shoulders. And then from there you go to toppling tree. So you release your foot, so you straighten your leg, and then you bring your wheel all the way up over your head. You have to really push again into your toes. Eventually the wheel might come all the way to the ground in front of the head, and the leg goes up higher. If you don't have a wheel, just do the toppling tree. Try to get your foot up as high as possible, arch your back.
Oh, c'est beau. That's it. Continue de tirer sur la roue, Georgia. C'est ça. Continuez. That's it, Andrew. C'est ça. C'est beau. OK. Good. C'est plus facile avec si tu as le poids de la roue et c'est plus ça te tirera plus loin. OK, c'est beau.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's do some, let's do just a little bit of a back opener. So, easy Chakrasana. If you're flexible, you bring your feet together. You're closer together, your hands start on your seat, push into your seat and go back. And if you can, you walk your hands down the backs of your legs. Eventually, you might be able to get your hands all the way to the feet. Okay, so without the wheel, you do this. With the wheel, you place your wheel inside of your feet. Okay, or if you don't have as much flexibility, you can step inside of the wheel, place it somewhere along the shins or more along the thighs. Press your hands into the wheel and then go back. You keep pushing your thighs inside the wheel, and you bring your hands back. You can eventually grab the bottom edge of the wheel. Keep your hips forward. Okay, so that's with the wheel. If you're more flexible, you bring your wheel right on the ground. You press the insides of your feet against the wheel, and you keep going down. Easy Chakrasana. Eventually, you might get your hands all the way down to the wheel. If you can, you slide your hands, fingers the insides of the wheel, your thumb hooks on the outsides of the wheel. Just like that. Press your hips forward, roll the thighs outwards.
That's the idea. Good. Beautiful. C'est beau, Georgia. Hey, release.
Okay. So now let's do a few sun salutations, okay? So start at the front end of the wheel, front end of the mat. Bring your wheel in front of the heart. Remember always that the practice is an offering. So offer everything up, share all the benefits with all beings, and just imagine that the wheel's one part, just an extension of your body. So now push your wheel down. Inhale, raise your arms up over the head. Engage your buttocks and go back as far as you see fit. Come forward and down. Bring the wheel down on the ground and slip it behind your feet. So from here, Uttanasana. If you have the wheel, you take hold of the outer edge, the back edge of the wheel, you bring your body right against the legs. You don't have a wheel, you just do Uttanasana. Push your hands against the heels and bring your body right against your legs. Try to get your chest lower than your knees. Okay? Good. Now from here, bring your hands down. Use the right foot to slip to roll the wheel back. Come into high plank. From here, lower down into chaturanga, and then right into upward facing dog. Push your hips forward, your feet stay on the wheel. If not, of course, you just do a regular upward facing dog. Now from here, if you have a wheel, roll the wheel towards you, come into a downward dog with your feet on the wheel. And from here, step off the wheel, bring your belly onto the wheel, and slide all the way back into child's pose here. Actually, not child's pose, into child's pose first, and then just come forward again. Use your belly underneath the wheel, underneath your belly, come into cobra. So bring your hands onto the wheel, push your wheel into your belly, allow the head to go back. The wheel's pushing into your belly, and if you want, you can try to bring your feet to your head. King Cobra. If not, just do a regular cobra. Just bring your, keep your hips on the ground. Okay, so stretch the front of the body here. And now break the pose. If you have a wheel, press your edges of your hands into the wheel and lift up into plank, back into downward facing dog. Bring your seat all the way back, your head below the arms. Now from here, raise your right leg up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your hands are still on the wheel, and step the right foot forward beside your wheel. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes, Kapyasana. Bring the wheel up over the head. Lean back, bring the wheel with you. And then bring the wheel back down, beside the foot. And from here, step the left foot beside the wheel. Bring the wheel again behind your feet, Uttanasana again. Push your body against your legs, the face towards the shins, your hands on the back of the wheel if you have it, otherwise on the back of the heels. Now from here, open up your legs, take your wheel out from behind and right over the head. Engage your buttocks, go back, arch back, Hasta Uttanasana. And then come back home. Beautiful. So if you've landed far back on your mat, just come forward again. Push your wheel down. Inhale, bring the wheel all the way up. Engage the buttocks again. Go back. Hold your breath as you go back for more control. Eventually you'll be able to get your wheel all the way to the floor behind you. And come all the way back. From here, hinge at the hips. Bring the wheel down to the ground and behind your feet. Uttanasana again. Push your wheel against the backs of the ankles and bring your hands to the back of the wheel. Bring your face to the shins, the top of the head towards the feet. Again, Uttanasana of your version if you don't have a wheel. Lift your seat up, start to get your legs straight. Now bring your hands down in front of your feet. Use the left foot to flick the wheel back. Come into high plank, both feet on the wheel. Lower down into chaturanga. And then right into upward facing dog. Push your hips forward, arch the back. From here, you have to roll over your toes a little bit to get your feet flat on the wheel. Come into sort of like a downward facing dog on the wheel, or a regular downward facing dog. So pike, otherwise, your seat up, your head down. So now from step off the wheel, bring your belly onto your wheel and then slide all the way back into child's pose here. And then roll forward again, hands on the front of the wheel, coming into cobra. So just allow your legs to just slide back, your hips on the ground, allow your head to go back. Push your wheel into the belly. If you want, you can do a king cobra, bring your feet towards the head. Push your wheel into the front of the body. Now break the pose, bend the toes under, bring your hands to the outer edge of the wheel, lift up into plank, back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring your seat all the way back, your head behind, below the arms. Keep your hands on the wheel. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Raise the left leg up. And step the foot beside your wheel. Lower the back knee down. Flatten up the toes. Kapyasana. Bring the wheel up. Arch back. Good. Bring the wheel back down beside your left foot. And then step the right foot forward alongside the wheel. Bring your feet behind the wheel behind your feet. Again, Uttanasana. Pull the body right against the legs, the chest going below the knees. Now from here, release. Open up your legs. You can take your wheel out from behind and over the head. Arch the back. Go back with your wheel. Be careful of your shoulders. Be careful of your balance. Come all the way back up. Hands back to the heart. Good. Again, step to the front of the mat. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back. Try to connect and move them seamlessly like you're doing a divine dance of devotion. Be graceful in all your transitions. Come all the way back up and then down. Bring your wheel behind your feet. This time, you're going to roll your wheel up the backs of your legs, right onto your seat. From here, extend the wheel out behind your seat and right into Uttanasana. Push your body into your legs. If you don't have a wheel, just join your hands together and just try to bring your hands towards the ground in front of your head. Lift your seat up. That's it. Now from here, come back up into a pike. Your wheel again behind your seat. Raise your right leg up, coming into balancing T. Extend your head forward, your right leg goes all the way back. It looks like you're lying on the table, your body flat. Good. If you want, you can try to bring your wheel onto your back and see if it will stay there. Arms out to the front. Now bring the right foot back down. From here, bring the wheel right beside your left foot on the inside. From here, into Parsvakonasana. Bring the wheel up, over your head, and in front of your head. Allow the wheel to just hang off the inside of the wrist. So straight line from the right hand all the way to the right foot. From here, if you like, walk your left hand forward, raise your right leg up. If you can see if you can take your left hand to the wheel. And then release the right foot, bring the right foot, the wheel back down, turn towards the front. Good, so from here, you're just gonna bring your wheel underneath your left leg, right arm up, go to the outside for Parivrita Parsvakonasana. So you can do a regular Parsvakonasana if you like. If you have the wheel, you would take your left arm behind your back and see if you can hold the wheel with both hands underneath your leg. Okay, so you grip the inside edge of the wheel and you keep tugging on your wheel. You pull on the wheel to try to get a little bit deeper into the pose. Left shoulder goes back. From here, release out of the pose. From here, we're coming down on your knee again, Kapyasana. Sink your seat all the way forward. Bring the wheel up and back. arch back. So from here, come back upright, bend your elbows, bring your wheel behind your head, and see if you can bring your right foot up. If you can just hold, either push your foot, depending on your flexibility, maybe your foot, the sole foot comes onto the wheel like this, or if you're more flexible, you bring your wheel right inside of your body, so against your back, on the inside of the knee, and you see you can take your foot, so you're forming, the wheel is just on the inside of the body, just like this, okay, so chain pose. Depending on your flexibility again. Good, that's it. Okay, so from here, release, bring the wheel back in front, press into your hands, and then from here, bring your left foot out a little bit. Let's do Pristhasana first. So see if you can get your wheel to come all the way forward. Bring the right foot back a little bit more. Try to sink your seat down. See if you can get your forehead down to the ground. Your hands on the top of the wheel. If it's too much, you can just bring your wheel against your chest and rest your chin on the wheel. So if this is more your level, you can do it from here. The left knee is still close to the shoulder, your forearms on the ground, and your chin is just resting on the top of the wheel. Slide your right foot back a little bit more. Sink your hips so they're very heavy. Okay, so now from here, we're coming back onto the wheels, your hands on the wheels. Step back into high plank. Right from here, move your left hand more onto the wheel. Vasisthasana, turn to your right. So your fingers on the thumb and the baby finger on the outside of the wheel, the other fingers on the top of the wheel. And then come back to plank. Go right to the other side from here. Push the right wrist in behind your left. And then go to your left. Good. Come back into high plank here. Back into downward facing dog. Push the seat back. Raise a right leg up. Step the foot between the hands. From here, let's see what we're going to do here. Okay, bring your back knee down into Kapyasana again. Pull your arms all the way up, arch back. Come back up, bend your elbows, bring the wheel behind your head, elbows close to your ears, and see if you can get your foot on the bottom of the wheel, or just the heel on the outside of the wheel. If you're more flexible, again, you try to push your wheel right down into the back of the body, against your leg, against your back, and see if you can find your foot over the top of the wheel. A little bit harder on this side for me. It's hard for me to find my foot. There it is. Wherever you are is perfect. Just do your best. From here, release. Bring the wheel on the inside of your right leg. Right hand on the outside or the inside. Lift the back knee up. Turn to your left. Start off with your left arm up over the head, and then right over your head for Parsvakonasana. The wheel hanging off the inside of the wrist. Your shoulder stays with your knee. That's it. And then bring the wheel back down onto the ground underneath your right leg. Turn so you're on the back, the heel. You're lifting up the heel there on the toes, left arm up. Parivrita Parsvakonasana. Reach underneath your leg with your left hand. Reach behind your back with your right hand. And grip both the edge of the wheel and pull on the wheel. So you're holding the wheel sitting in the palms of your hands, and you're gripping one edge of the outside edge of the wheel and pull on the wheel, try to get your right shoulder back more. Break the pose, come forward again. Now from here, just come right up off your left leg comes up. Bring your wheel onto your back to start, and then pull the wheel back out over your seat. So it's hovering over your back. Balancing T-pose. Oops. Eventually, see if you can get your wheel to sit on your back. Warrior 3. Keep your back straight. Concentrate on stillness. Your arms come in front. Good. Then from here, you take the wheel up off your back. Bring your left foot down. So from here, slide your left foot all the way back. Right foot moves out to the edge of the mat. And here you can do Pristasana. So again, your option of bringing your wheel all the way in front, your forehead to the ground, your head underneath your arms. If it's too much, you bring the wheel just against your chest and you rest your chin on the wheel. You come onto your forearms. Now from here, come back onto your hands. Bend the toes under, bring the wheel in front. So actually no, bring your right hand in front. We're coming into Ardha Chandrasana from here. So bring the left leg up. Your left arm comes up over the head and maybe hangs off your wrist again. And if you have the balance, you can see if you bring your right hand up to the wheel as well. Hold the wheel with both hands. Okay, let's try again. Break the pose, bring your left wheel down, turn forward. From here, the wheel comes behind your back. Push the wheel all the way back behind your seat and over your head. Uttanasana, your seat comes over your feet, your heels. Come all the way back up. Just take the wheel over the head now, arch back. Come back home. Charge up the body. Press the wheel against the chest. Inhale, the best of the best. Down, up through the arms, up through the legs, up through the spine to the crown. Exhale, send that everywhere throughout the body. Feel recharged, feel rejuvenated. Okay, so one more variation. Push the wheel down, go all the way up and back. Arch back. Forward fold, bring your hands down. Bring the wheel behind your back, your feet. Uttanasana. So you can again take your wheel, slide at the back of your seat. And eventually your arms come over your shoulders and the wheel comes in front of the head perhaps a little bit more, or maybe right to the ground in front. You seat over the heels. Now, bring the wheel all the way back down, right down to the ground. And from here, bring your hands in front. If you want, you can try to do a handstand here. So if you have a wheel, you bring your head and onto the wheel, and you press up into handstand. If you don't have a wheel, you just try to come into tucks a few times, and see if you can come up into handstand if you like. Okay, so either way is perfect. C'est ça, Georgia, encore. Les hanches un peu plus hautes.
C'est ça. Beautiful, Andrew. Nice. Bring the other leg up. Beautiful. C'est ça. Flexez les pieds. Poussez à travers les monts des orteils. C'est ça. Continuez. C'est ça. C'est beau. Encore flexez les orteils. Beautiful, Andrew. Good. And then come back down. Okay, so from here, you just walk your feet back into plank. Lower the knees down. From here, roll the wheel towards you so it's underneath the belly. So starting off with Cobra, slide your legs all the way back, your hips on the ground, your head goes back. Again, you have the option to take your feet to your head if you like, or just keeping your legs on the ground. Shoulders back, spine long, the front of the body stretched. Now break the pose. From here, we're going to go into another variation of, looks like Cobra, but another orientation, Shalabhasana. So you're going to roll forward all the way so your chin comes onto the ground. You take your hands to your wheel and you lift your legs up. Shalabhasana. And keep your legs straight or bend your knees. Try to get your feet to your head. Nice, and come back. From here, that's the idea. From here, roll back into child's pose for a moment. Breathe in, your chin on a wheel, your wheel against your belly. Inhale. Exhale. Now place your hands on the wheel. Inhale. Come back into plank position. Back into downward facing dog. Now from here, move your wheel forward. Arm balance, forearm balance. So you can, if you don't have a wheel, you just do a normal forearm balance. If you have a wheel, grab the edges of the wheel, kick up, and find the wheel, find the forearm balance. More flexible, you can try to bring your feet onto your wheel, come into scorpion. So again, depending on your level of practice. Good stuff. Break the pose. Now from here, come back up. Walk bring your feet behind, your wheel behind your feet. Uttanasana again. Push, bring your wheel up over your head, over your back, and then beyond your head. Close the gap between your body and your legs as much as possible. The whole front of the body against the legs if your legs are straight. Come all the way back up. Bring your wheel in front of your body. Reach up over the head, Hasta Uttanasana, arch back. Come all the way back up. And bring your hands, your wheel in front of your body. So from here, charge the body up again. Feel all the best of the best coming up through the legs, up through the arms, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it all the way throughout the body. Feel a surge of energy going everywhere. Feel rejuvenated. Feel in connection more with all beings everywhere. And release. Good. Okay, so now from here, let's do inversions. Okay, so let's start off with headstand. If you have a wheel, we're going to do a couple of different ones. Okay, so first you can start off with you can have your head against the wheel. You can do this one here. You can eventually come into lotus. Just hold this steady. If you want, you can even bring your wheel, your feet to your head behind your head.
the wheel behind your head. Okay, so you do this pose as well. Try to move your feet inside the wheel. So just stay with this version for a moment. Hold the pose. If you have a lotus, this makes your mind more one-pointed. Make sure it's a full lotus. Your knees in a straight line over your hips. And then once you have the pose, leave the body alone. Bring the mind into quietness.
C'est ça. Poussez les hanches en avance, Georgia. C'est ça. Voilà. Poussez un pied dans la cuisse de l'autre, puis ça va peut-être faire descendre le pied encore plus. C'est ça, exactement. Voilà. Okay. And poussez avec le pied, comme les monts des orteils. C'est ça. Okay. Voilà, c'est plutôt ça. Voilà, ok? Bravo. Ça a gagné beaucoup de pouces juste en faisant ça. C'est beau. Ok. And release. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Next variation. Eventually you want to try to get Shilshasana without any hands, right? So with the wheel, I'll show with the wheel first. You place the wheel in front of your chest, close to your chest.
Okay, so there's a few different options. The wheel is close to you, you bring your hands out to the side, you bring your knees onto the wheel, you cross your ankles, and then you try to get your hands up off the ground. Like that. Okay, so you have to pull your heels right in towards the seat. Your seat has to be right over the heels. Press all the weight on your head. Okay, so you try that, or you can place your hands on the wheel and see if you can bring your legs on over your arms and see if you can bounce like this. Okay, so you hold the wheel with your hands and you just try to get your feet up off the ground. Okay, if you don't have a wheel, or a wheel that you can use properly, you can do against the wall. I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, you might be able to see. So you go right against the wall. Make sure you're pretty close but not right against the wall. And you place your heels on the wall. And you try to, so your back is not on the wall. Your head's on the wall, your heels on the wall. And you just try to stay there. Okay, so that's the option if you don't have a wheel. Okay, so just practice without hands. Voilà. Tu peux écarter les pieds si tu veux, mais je pense que tu es correct, Georges. C'est beau. Voilà. On peut mettre les mains entre les mudras ou sur les jambes, ça me fait rien. Good. That's it. All the weight on the head, Andrew. Nice. Good. That's a cool shape.
Good. All right. And release. Okay. So the next one.
One more. Okay, so this one, if you have a wheel, you try to keep your wheel on one foot. So you bring your wheel up with both feet, and you try to play with passing it from one foot to the other. So you've done this one before, I'm sure. You start with your forearm, once your forearm's on the ground, you take your feet inside the wheel. You grab the wheel with the edges of your toes. Okay, the outsides of the wheel. You bring it close as possible. Your heels are sitting inside the wheel. And so you can bring your wheel up over your head. Your shins are hugging, inside the shins are hugging the wheel. Okay? Now if you want even, you can even try to lift your head up off the ground. Keep your legs straight, push into your arms, charge your legs, and so you can get your head up off the ground. That's too much, you just do the passing. So you push the heel to one side of the wheel, the toes to the other edge, and you allow the wheels to just kind of hang off, press into the inside of the shin. You slowly take one foot out. And then you can see, play a balance, you can see if you can open up the legs a little bit. You have to do things very slowly and very gradually, no jerky motions, otherwise you'll lose the wheel. Okay, so go ahead, play a little bit. Your foot should be on the inside diagonal, so the heel on one edge, the toes against the other edge, gripping the outside edge with your toes. And your wheel sitting again against the shin, the inside of the shin, in order to be able to keep the wheel in place. All movements very, very gradual. Make sure your heels are in contact with the wheel when you're starting to bring the wheel back down, and especially if you're trying to take your head up off the ground. So you really have to hug the edges of the wheel with the insides of your legs. Hold your breath, lift your head up off the ground if you like. Bring it back down.
Right. Break the pose, come back out. Relax in child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay.
So next pose is shoulder stand. If it's too much for your neck to do shoulder stand, you can do bridge pose. Okay, so you would start at the top of the top of the mat. And from here, if you have a wheel, you roll all the way back until you're on your shoulders. Again, according to your condition. So if it's too much to do shoulder stand, you can just push the wheel into the back, upper back, as far in as possible. And you can just stay like this, okay, with your legs either extended or square with your heels underneath your knees in line with your heels. If you do a full shoulder stand, bring one leg up. And then the other one, push hips forward. So you can push your wheel a little bit further in and then bring your legs straight. If you don't have a proper wheel, you can just do a regular Shavasana. As always, you have the option of doing a lotus here to make the mind more one-pointed.
Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deeper within, beyond the body, the mind, and emotions. Now hinge at the hips, bring your legs down either in plow or pindasana. If you have a lotus, you can bring your lotus against your body, your seat over your shoulders. Getting ready to break the pose. If you have a lotus, you can even try to keep your lotus. Grab the edges of the mat and see if you can get your knees to the ground, even with your wheel underneath you. If you don't have a wheel, just do fish with your lotus. Padma pind, the fish pose with the lotus. Okay, so if you have, oops, I lost my lotus a little bit. So if it's too much, just come into bridge pose, supported bridge with your wheel underneath your back. Sometimes if you're trying to do it from lotus, you bring one hand behind your head, and then your knees will eventually come down. All right, so now we're in bridge pose. Take your hands beside your head. You can come into Urdhva Dhanurasana from here now. If you have a lotus, you can try to do it from lotus even. You're not going to get much clearance, but you can try to get your back up off the wheel. Knees are slipping. So if you're doing a regular Urdhva Dhanurasana, you take your back up off the wheel. If you have a wheel, you can try to use your foot to flick your wheel underneath your head and try to press the head and the foot and the wheel all together. And then of course, if you do that variation, you do it with the other foot. So take your other foot onto the wheel, flick the wheel towards your head and try to get your foot and your wheel and underneath your head. Oops, I lost it. Where'd it go? Bring your back onto the wheel and come back down with your seat. Supported fish pose, or a regular fish, or a lotus fish. So again, the back of the head resting on the wheel, arms over your head. If you're doing the wheel, if you do it with a wheel, otherwise do another fish. Any variation you like. Then take your hands behind your head and then lift your head back up off the wheel. From here, we're going to do some leg stretches. So you come onto the back. You bring your right foot inside the wheel and you come down onto your back. Depending on your flexibility, you can pull the wheel towards you. Just tug on the bottom edge of the wheel and try to get your foot closer to the head. You can even eventually if your wheel gets close, you can bring your chin on the inside of the wheel. If you're even more flexible, you bring both arms inside the wheel, lift your head, and you can bring your head inside the wheel. The back of the head is resting on the inside of the wheel, and your forehead is right against your shin. If you don't have a wheel, you just do the regular one. So you take hold of the ankle, your knees on the shoulder to start. If you're very flexible, you like to slip to the right, you try to get your foot to the ground beside your body. Your knee is just on the outside of the shoulder, your knees in the armpits. Good. Take your attention to where you want to find the release. Your attention's like a magnet, draws all the prana there. And now bring the leg back up, and then release the foot. Do the other leg now. So again, you can, if you have the wheel, you bring your left foot inside the wheel, and then you
pull the wheel, the leg all the way up, you tug on the bottom edge of the wheel, depending on flexibility again, you can see if your thigh is right on the belly, and your foot's close to your head, you can bring your chin inside the wheel. Or you bring both arms inside the wheel, lift the top edge of the wheel, lift your head up off the ground, and bring your head inside the wheel. So eventually the wheel, the head, the wheel's on the ground, the head's resting inside the wheel, and your shin is right against your forehead. You don't have a wheel, of course. You have the flexibility, you can pull your foot right down beside your body, your knees right against your left shoulder, or inside the armpits. Break the pose, bring the leg back down. From here, sitting up. Okay, so now I'm going to do compass pose. So you lean to your right, fold the left leg back. Bring the wheel underneath your right leg. From here, you can either, you bring your left hand in front of the wheel, you reach across, you try to take your left hand to your foot, outside the foot. Okay, so you push the front of the shoulder, the back shoulder inside of on the inside of the right leg, you open up here. From here you can do Visvamittrasana. So you come forward, lean into your hands, lift the seat up off the ground, and you move your foot out a little bit more so the heel's on top of the wheel. So from here you bend your toes under, and then you lift your knee up off the ground. And you have to slide forward, so you have to sink your hip forward. You can move your wheel if you need to. Your right hand on the inside of the right leg. Your left arm either comes up straight, or you can see if you can take hold of the foot. If you don't have the wheel, you do the regular Visvamittrasana. Right shoulder in behind the leg. Lean back, allow the left arm to right leg to curl around the right arm, and you see you can push your foot out. Use the back of the arm. Break the pose, come back. Okay, so from here, go to the other side, lean to your left, fold the right leg back, bring your wheel underneath your left leg. The left shoulder goes in front of the knee, your left hand goes beyond the edge of the wheel, and then you see if you can reach your foot outside the foot with the right arm. Push the right shoulder back. Try not to close the heart, try not to hunch the back. And from here, Visvamittrasana, so you roll the wheel all the way out underneath the heel. You come onto your hands so that you can lift and bring your foot out to the right so you can flatten your foot. Your left hand in front of, just in the inside of the left knee, the right arm goes up. Or you take your foot. Good. Break the pose. Bring your foot back. Okay, so next one. You can do it with or without the wheel. It's a little bit more challenging with the wheel, but Astavakasana. So that's this pose here. If you don't have a wheel, you start with your seat down, your left arm, your right leg over the right arm, and you hook the left foot over top. You press into your hands and you lift your seat. So this is Astavakasana. You can do this with your wheel too, a little bit more difficult. But you start with your left hand on the wheel, your right hand on the wheel, your right leg over the arm. Oops, sorry, I have to get your leg on the inside. So you have to lean forward, really push your wheel into your hand. Get up first. Okay, and then you press into your wheel, you hook your feet together. That's how you do with the wheel. Okay, so you have to get your body weight forward, your shoulder right over the wrist. That's the idea. That's it. Bring your leg, your left leg through in between your arms a little bit more, Andrew, before you start. It's a tricky pose. Push into your hands. Yeah, good. Good. All right, try it on the other side now. Okay, so this time your left hand on the wheel, your left leg over the arm. You can start with your foot on the wheel actually. Your right, spread your fingers along the outside of the wheel. It's always try to find the tricks here. So you have to lean forward a little bit. You can't do it very well on one side as well. Flex your foot. Cross your ankles and see if you can get up. C'est ça, Georgia, oui, c'est beau. C'est plus facile maintenant, Georgia? Ça vient? Est-ce que ça commence à venir un peu plus facilement? Est-ce que tu peux m'entendre? Oh, je pense que tu es gelé. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. Open up your legs. And from here, roll the wheel forward. Push the wheel as far forward as possible so you can get your forehead to the ground, your belly, your body stretching forward. Stretch. Keep pushing the wheel forward. Try to get your forehead to the ground. Roll the thighs inwards. Okay. C'est bon. Okay, so now come back. So go to the right now. You can either take your foot to the inside. From here, you can just pull on the wheel and then pull your body, your head close to the wheel. Your chin comes in the inside of the wheel, perhaps. More flexible, you can just bring your wheel on the inside, your feet on the inside, and just kind of pull your body through. Both arms on the inside of the leg, and just keep reaching forward, holding the outer edge of the wheel or interlacing your fingers. And push your fist way beyond the outside edge of the wheel. Then go to the other side. If you haven't done that, or just do the right side if you haven't done it yet, and then go to the other side. So again, you can just have the foot on the inside of the wheel and then just hold it for like on the inside edge of the wheel like this. If you don't have as much flexibility, if you can, you bring heel on the inside of the wheel and you reach all the way through the wheel with both hands. Your body on the, your belly on your thigh. You can join your hands together
And pull the fist all the way through beyond the edge of the wheel. And then break the pose, come back. From here, Padmasana, bring your left foot in first and then the right foot on top. If you have the wheel, it's beside your right hip. Take your bind first, so lean forward, take your right arm behind your back, hold the bind the foot. Your left hand comes onto the wheel beside you and you keep pushing your wheel back behind you. You pull on the right foot at the same time. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, pull the left foot, the right foot, and you push your wheel further back behind you. If you don't have a wheel, you just place your left hand maybe underneath your knee, or just the back of the fist against the knee, and you just push with against the knee. You push the lower back into the arm. Back. Go to the other side now, so change your lotus around so your left leg's on top. Lean forward, take your left hand behind your back and bind the foot. And you have the wheel, of course, the right hand on the wheel, and you push it further back behind you. Push the lower back in with the left arm, and you pull on the foot as you turn. Now you're trying to get your left foot all the way behind your back. You keep pushing your wheel further behind. Otherwise, you take your left back to the left wrist and push against the outside of the knee, or you step on your hand with the back of the hand with your knee. Break the pose, come down in Shavasana. So you have the option of just, if you don't have the wheel, you just your normal Shavasana. If you want, you can have the wheel resting just on the belly with your bottom edge of the wheel just below the hips. Or you can take your wheel and place it underneath your head, but your head is resting inside of the wheel. And then you just relax, completely let go of all efforts, surrender all effort, let go of all tension and all efforts. Imagine all the muscles just dissolved instantly. Make yourself receptive in every way possible, physically. Imagine light and energy coming in through the pores of the skin, right into the skin, penetrating to all those areas that still are withholding tension, or feeling blocked or restricted in any way. And just allow all the energy to just penetrate those areas and soften them, to feel release. And mentally, we have to make ourselves receptive as well. Sometimes we hold on to certain impressions or thoughts that prevent us from seeing other perspectives, from considering other perspectives. Cause us to identify too much with the body, the mind, and the emotions. We see each other as separate, all beings as separate from us, when in fact we are all connected. So inhale, imagine the best, that light and energy coming into the mind and dissolving all those
impressions, those hard thoughts that we fix in our mind that prevent us from opening up mentally and being receptive mentally. And direct your attention to the heart, the center of compassion and love. We have to open ourselves up emotionally and spiritually as well by being in adherence to ethical rules, allowing compassion and love to be our driving force behind all action, thought, and word. So inhale that love and energy into the heart to dissolve all those areas of hardness or judgment against others, prejudices against others. And any thought or action that is contrary to the ethical rules, yama and niyama. Come back to a place of forgiveness to yourself for any transgressions. For everything is perfect, everything is working according to the divine plan, and we're all evolving through our experiences. So it's all perfect. Recognize that each life is just an opportunity for spiritual correction, to become more correct spiritually, to evolve. So now let's prepare to come back to seated position so we can take this out into our day-to-day lives. And continue to exercise the practice off the mat as well. Come back to seated position, always in a way that is mindful, that is gentle. Close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All's within. If you need more Shavasana time, I invite you to just continue it. Sorry it was a bit short, but I just want to make sure that if you have something to do, then you can go ahead and do it. Thank you so much for coming, both of you. Merci tellement. Bonjour de l'an. Alors, je te souhaite une merveilleuse année, remplie de bonheur, remplie d'accomplissement et d'éclaircissement. Wishing you a beautiful, bright new year, full of promise, full of enlightenment. May you retain self-realization in this lifetime. Maybe the next year. Thank you. Love you all. À la prochaine. Bye bye. Merci, Georgia. Est-ce que ça vient plus facilement, la transition pour le Ekapada? C'est toujours un peu, c'est ça, ok. Je pense que ça va venir assez rapidement, je pense. Une fois que tu as une côté qui est maîtrisée, l'autre côté va venir, je pense. Oui. Oh. Oh non, pas grave, ce n'est pas grave. Tu as bien fait quand même. J'espère que tu as profité de la pratique de toute façon sans la... C'est ça. Alors, je vais envoyer le lien et tu peux faire la pratique, refaire la pratique avec la roue si tu veux, si jamais tu veux. Mais comme maintenant, tu as des trucs pour le faire, donc oui. Mais c'est parfait. Merci tellement. Merci d'avoir modifié et de rester. Okay. Bye bye.